The situation earlier on, as we are getting from that story, was a little bit sketchy as to where the community that has been displaced is going to end up tonight. What do we know?
So the situation is quite serious at the moment. And luckily, we've managed to have a lot of NGOs come on board to come and assist us. At the moment, the residents who have been displaced, it's probably close to about 1,500 at the moment. A majority of them are currently occupying the community hall on Kennedy Road, but there are some who have not been placed yet and are still outside, which is quite a serious situation at the moment.
Yeah. What has been the government response so far to this particular tragedy?
Well, I'm a PR councillor in the ward. And I think we have put a lot of pressure on the eThekwini municipality as a councillor to ensure that we get disaster managers to come and assist. At the moment, the city does not have any stock for such situations or disasters. So the city is very reactive instead of being proactive. And we are scrambling to ensure that as many people are assisted as possible. Now, the big problem we have is that the city is too reliant on NGOs and NPOs to assist us. So, for example, if it wasn't for organizations such as Red Cross, Gift of the Givers, and other organizations in the area, I don't know what kind of situation we'd be in right now. But the government definitely needs to do more from the provincial level and the city level to help prevent such situations.
Do you think I suppose the packing up of events and disasters on the city's coffers is somewhat having this kind of effect? Because you remember we're coming from the July unrest, there were floods, and as they were recovering from the floods, another flood hit now, again recently. Now you're dealing with this situation of the fire. I mean, all this, is the city able to respond adequately to the needs of the community?
No, certainly not. The city is struggling a lot to respond to the needs of the community. And, Durban has been in a very tough situation in recent years. I mean, as you've mentioned, eThekwini has suffered from riots, floods. But, what we need to remember is that a lot of the stuff that is happening is probably, preventable if we plan ahead. Because if you look at the living situation and conditions, no human being should be living in that kind of setup. The informal settlements are so close to each other. It's just always a disaster waiting to happen. And the city is well aware that eThekwini usually has fires on a regular basis. And we have to become more proactive as leaders and as a city to ensure that such situations are prevented.
Have you gathered any more information or clarity as to how the fire got started?
So there's currently two prevailing stories. But obviously, we would have to leave it to the police to fully verify. The first one is that a couple had an argument, and then one of them got very upset and decided to start a fire, which obviously got out of hand. And the second story is that there were people who were having an argument, two male neighbors. One of them stabbed the other one, and then the other one got stabbed, decided to revenge in the early hours of the morning. So obviously both of these stories can't be true. It could only be one of them. And at the moment, that's just all, speculation. And we're going to just have to leave it up to the investigators to get to the bottom of this. Because whatever happened, there's strong suspicions that this is man-made. Someone deliberately did this. And this has led to the loss of 2 lives as we speak. And there's also been a missing child, And I was on the scene earlier on this morning. The situation there is quite bad.